Long time no see, Christy. This is your super cute little sister, Kimmy here.
Kimmy? How did you find out what my new phone number is? I never once told you about even changing my phone number, did I?
That's very true. You did say that you cut ties to me a while back, so that sort of hinted at what you do. Right? And since you didn't ever tell me your new number after that, I was very, very lonely.
You were lonely? How? You remember why I cut ties to you, right?
Honestly, I have no idea, Chrissy.
I'm sure you've had all kinds of situations like this that it's made it hard for you to tell which reason goes with what.
Maybe you cut ties to me because I'm cuter than you? Maybe you cut ties to me because I'm sexier than you? Maybe because your ex fell in love with me and then left you to come sleep with me?
Because you stole my ex from me thinking that it would be funny.
I never thought it would be funny. I had no other choice back then, okay? He was the one that fell in love with me first, and from there, I could do nothing about him.
But you continued to go out with him behind my back, never once telling me, your older sister, what was happening. And the reason why he even started to cheat on me with you in the first place was this. You would constantly go running and crying up to him, complaining about all these lies you made up about the past, where apparently I was this evil older sister and would hurt you both mentally and physically. Basically making yourself out to be this cute little victim of abuse that my ex jumped to help.
Women who cry really are the hardest thing for men to avoid, right? Especially when it's me, a really cute little girl with an amazing body.
Had it only been because of your looks that my ex went and jumped over to you, then I wouldn't be as upset about the past. That would have proved to me that you didn't mean to take his gaze and that it just happened naturally. But things didn't happen naturally, as you would constantly belittle me and make me look like the monster so that he would leave me for you. And that is something I will not forgive.
Well, I could have taken him with just my looks alone, you know.
So, why are you talking to me again? Why did you go through all that trouble of finding my new number? And could you tell me who gave you my new number? Because I told everyone not to tell you.
I asked Mom for it.
Damn it.
Mom has always been on my side, ever since I was born.
I know that very well, Kimmy. So?
Well, Mom was kind enough to tell me. She also told me that you are going to get married as well. And just a little bit ago, your family and your fiancé's family met, right? That's where Mom learned that your fiancé is working for a massive company making lots of money.
Well, I'm not inviting you to my wedding because I do not regret cutting ties to you and will not be letting you back into my life.
I don't need you inviting me out to your wedding or anything. That's never going to happen anyway.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I'm going to marry your fiancé for you. In other words, you won't be getting married and you will not be able to have that wedding anymore.
Are you trying to get your teeth kicked in? You and I are not close enough to be telling jokes like that to one another, so you better take that crap back right now.
Oh, I know. And I also know that you are still upset with me over your last boyfriend that I stole from you in high school, right? Are you really so pathetic that you can't get over one simple instance of being cheated on? How long ago was high school?
Plenty of things had led to this hate besides just that.
Anyway, Mom went ahead and showed me pictures that she took when she went out to meet his family. I should have gone to that meeting as well. I can see you all went out to a really fine restaurant to talk.
I would never invite you out to that.
But I'm going to have to meet him and his family at some point, especially since I'm going to become his wife.
Are you really looking to have all your teeth knocked out? Honestly, I wasn't even wanting to invite Mom to that dinner either, considering she spills everything out to you, her pretty little baby. I ended up inviting her hoping that she'd just keep things between us, but she went ahead and showed and told you everything, didn't she? I should have left her out as well.
It would kind of be a bit screwed up of you to only invite Dad out to have dinner with your fiancé and his family, right?
I'm surprised that someone like you knows how to use the phrase screwed up correctly.
Excuse me?
Anyhow, I'm going to get married, and you will have nothing to do with it as long as I'm still breathing. I'm really busy now getting everything ready, so leave me alone and stop it with those freaking comments about my fiancé. He is just as busy as I am, so don't even try getting in his way right now. He does not need you coming in trying to corrupt his heart.
I would never corrupt him. All I planned on doing was showing him an outright better woman. And as you know, I have Mom on my side in all of this, so your best bet is to just shut up and let me have that man as well from you.
No, thank you.
If you don't hand him over now, I'm going to do the exact same thing I did in high school and have to forcibly steal him from you, okay?
This is why I'm telling you to stay the hell away.
But I really want to get married now. And I want to get married to a man like that, who can afford to take everyone out to a fine restaurant on the salary he's making at that massive company. Which means that I'm going to have my way, no matter what you have to say about it. When I want something, I get it. That is all there is to it. Now that I'm wanting him, we need to get ready for our marriage. When we have a wedding planned out, I'll make sure to send you an invite.
Mom, you went and told Kimmy about how I'm getting married, as well as about the dinner we had and the man that my fiancé is, didn't you?
Why do you seem so upset by that, Christy? She is your little sister, so she has a right to know about all of it, right?
But you've known that ever since I graduated high school and left the house, that I have been staying away from her on purpose, right?
There is no reason for you to be cutting ties to your own little sister, though.
But you know the reason why I had to cut ties to her, and how that reason hurt me badly, right?
And that was back in high school, so you can get over it now. You were both young when it all happened. And it was just a boyfriend in high school that got stolen from you. Yet all you've done is cry and cry, whining about how she shouldn't have done that. The fact that you still hold that against her just goes to show how narrow-minded and cold of a woman you really are. That all happened when you were kids.
She also went around and made me look like a monster. Also, she would go into my room when I specifically told her to stay out of there. And do you know what she would do in there? She would take money from my purse to pay for her dates with my ex. She also took my favorite dress at the time that I bought with my birthday money and wore it out without my permission and got it all muddy and ruined it. There are plenty of other things that girl had done to me in the past that made my life worse, yet she never had to be punished for. Right?
Well, you're her older sister, so it's your job to have to take care of your little sister, right?
And that's what you've always said. You never freaking bothered to step in and punish her for acting out like that, like a good mother would be doing, instead pushing all the blame on me.
Whatever happened that made you into such a small-minded brat? The fact that you guys have not been able to grow close has made me sad, all right? That little girl has the right to know about her older sister's marriage, and that's why I went and told her about it.
You know what? It's fine then. I don't care about the fact that you told her about my plans anymore, but you better not do anything else like that to me.
Tell me what that could be. What are you talking about?
Things that might cause trouble for my fiancé. Do not tell her any more about him and leave her out of this, please. He is not hers to have, so don't do anything that will make things complicated for everyone.
What's so wrong with that?
Excuse me?
Listen to what I think about this. I think that Kimmy is far more suited to become a wife than you.
What? What the hell was that?
I mean, she's far more cuter than you, right? And I want to see some stinking cute grandbabies as soon as possible. You are her older sister, so just give your fiancé to her so she can get married already.
What the actual frick are you saying? I would never ever do something as screwed up as that.
Your father and I are really getting up there in age. And that means we can't be around forever to take care of Kimmy's needs, right? I only say that because your father and I both know that she'll be around longer than the both of us. And once him and I are gone, and she finds herself in trouble, who's going to be there for her? You seem to really hate her, so you won't be there to help her when she asks, right?
Help her? Absolutely freaking not.
That's what I mean. And if that's the way you're going to think, then she needs a partner who can be there to help her. I would like to see her petite body in a cute wedding dress and some cute little grandbabies from her, which means I need you to give her your fiancé and let her get married.
That man is the man I'm marrying and nobody else.
Based on what happened to you in high school, there's no saying if you'll really be able to marry him or not.
Is that the kind of thing a mother should be saying to her daughter?
Your fiancé also happens to have a really good job right now with a very good salary. I think he would be far better off with a kid like Kimmy, especially since his face is decent.
I cannot believe what is happening. I always knew that you loved Kimmy more than me and would do anything for her, but this is how far you'll take things to try and ruin my life?
Well, I am her ally. And that means I will do anything to make sure she ends up happier than you. Which means you need to start by handing over your fiancé to your little sister, alright?
You can go ahead and do whatever you want to make Kimmy happy, but leave me and my fiancé out of it. Do you hear me? And if you do anything to him, and I mean anything, I won't be forgiving you anymore either.
I have 2 amazing things to tell you about. You there? Can you hear me? You didn't end up blocking me, did you?
Stop freaking calling me. I'm busy right now, so we'll talk later.
I knew that rather than going to some beach in the US, it would be better to go to one of the beautiful beaches of the Caribbean.
What?
Actually, I'm pregnant now, which means I'll be having a baby here soon. Which means that before my belly gets too big, I was thinking of taking my honeymoon. So right now, I'm out in the Caribbean.
You're pregnant? And you're in the Caribbean?
There's a lot I have to tell you about, which I'm sure has you panicking right now, right? I'm sure you're freaking out. The last thing I really needed to tell you is that with the help of Mom, I was able to steal your fiancé.
What the hell did you say?
And then after just a few days, he was able to get me pregnant. I was shocked by that myself, but I guess he wasn't using any birth control. Now that I have his baby inside me, that pretty much seals the deal that he is my man now. Wow, I'm really, really sorry about this one. Just like last time, I'm once again stealing someone precious from you. But there was no other option, right? I'm the one who is the most cute after all.
Are you really pregnant right now?
Yes, I am. Mom has been waiting a long time to see a baby from me, and this time I'm taking my baby and your fiancé on this honeymoon.
My husband is sitting right next to me, though.
What? What did you say?
I just said that my husband is sitting right next to me in this room.
Hold on a second. What do you mean, husband? Don't you mean your fiancé?
We handed in our papers to the courthouse, so now we're married.
You handed those in? I heard from Mom, though, that you didn't have plans to have your wedding until next month.
And what about that meant we couldn't get married before the wedding? Plenty of people do that, you know.
This is all too strange, though. Because right now, I'm with your fiancé on this trip in the Caribbean.
Who is that exactly?
He's the man who was in that photo Mom showed me of you guys at that dinner months back. He was sat right next to you.
But at this moment, my husband is sitting right next to me.
Look at this.
His older brother?
His older brother?
That man is my husband's older brother. Wait, does that mean the baby inside you right now is my husband's brother?
This isn't your fiancé's?
Wait, was the picture Mom showed you the one of me with my husband and his brother?
What do you mean?
That was a photo that my husband's brother wanted taken so that he could show his wife and kid that didn't come for the dinner.
His wife and kid? Wait, what the heck? What's going on here?
My brother-in-law is married and has a kid. His wife is also pregnant with her second child right now, and she will be having her second child a few days before our wedding. Kimmy, what have you been doing with that man who has a wife and 2 kids now?
No way. But I didn't know.
I'm not sure how you ended up meeting with my husband's brother like that, and why you both were able to start dating. But right now, what you're doing is something no woman should ever do.
But Mom was the one who gave me his number and told me to get married to him.
She did?
I thought that this was going to be your fiancé that I was talking with. Wait, what is going to happen to me now? He has a wife and 2 kids with her. That means before I can marry him, he's going to have to divorce her, right?
And before the divorce, make sure to pay that settlement to his wife.
Settlement?
The fact that he has 2 kids with her only furthers the amount you'll be paying. But what you did is one of the worst sins anyone can carry out.
You're joking, right?
This all happened because you wanted to steal my fiancé from me. And because of Mom's misunderstandings, they have now all become your misunderstandings. I never had any part in all of that though, so I'm not going to stick around to help you.
Hold on a second. This was not the plan I had in mind. Christy! Christy, please help Kimmy out right now. You're her older sister, right?
I'm going to ignore you guys because it was you who chose to have her take my fiancé away from me and are now being faced with a settlement from my husband's brother's wife. Remember that I was going to be the victim had she taken my husband from me and gotten away with it, alright? So you really think I'm going to help her out?
Why would this be happening? I thought that the number I gave to Kimmy was that of your husband's and nobody else.
Mom, you've always been terrible at writing things down, so perhaps you just misread his phone number. Or this might have to do with the fact that during the dinner where you guys met with my husband's family, you were talking with his brother the whole time and asking him for all his information instead of my husband. I always thought what you were doing at the time was a little bit strange, but you are one of the craziest freaks I know, so...
No way. That girl is being asked to pay a massive settlement right now and is going through hell for it. She also happens to be pregnant with my grandbaby.
And what would you like me to do about that?
Help her.
How about you help her since you're her mother?
I don't have any more of your dad's money that I can use on this.
You don't have any more of Dad's money? Wait, does this mean you've been hiding from Dad this whole time the fact that you've been using his money to help Kimmy?
Well, all she's done is work part-time jobs, and at her age she needs more money to be able to live, right? Your dad has thought this whole time that she'd gone to college and found herself a full-time company job. That's why I tried to make a situation which made it look like she was always going to school.
I see. I was kind of wondering why someone like Dad would allow his younger daughter, who has always hated studying, to go to the cheapest community college in town and still flunk out without punishing her. Really, he was just being lied to by you and Kimmy and has no idea about the truth.
If your dad finds out that she flunked out of community college and has been part-timing this whole time, he's going to make her give all the money she spent back, I'm sure.
She actually flunked out then? I was just hoping that was a joke. When did that happen?
I think it happened when she was in her 2nd year there.
So then, what about the rest of the money Dad gave to her?
She told me she had to pay for other things, so I handed it to her to use on her place and for food.
I'm sure Dad is going to be pissed when he finds out that the money he thought was going towards her education has been going towards something else entirely.
Which means that I can't help Kimmy anymore with her problems, because I cannot give her any more money.
And I don't have a penny that could be used to help her in any way.
Is that something the older sister of Kimmy would say? Are you telling me that what happens to her doesn't matter to you?
I think you should be more worried about yourself right now than what will happen with Kimmy, Mom.
What do you mean?
I'm with Dad right now as we're speaking.
What? Why?
I'm wanting him to give the speech at my wedding. And well, we just had him practice it a little bit ago. But when that finished, we decided to go out for lunch together. So we're eating now while we chat.
Hold on a second. You haven't told him anything about what happened with Kimmy and I, right? If you were to do something like that, you'd be spelling the end for both Kimmy and I.
You seem to be pretty content with the fact that both of you have been doing bad things together. So please explain yourself to Dad later. You are Kimmy's ally, right? Well, Dad just so happens to be mine.
You're lying, right? Hold on a second, Christy. Help me, Christy! Things are screwed up now. What should I be doing right now?
Apologize to everyone you hurt from the bottom of your heart, and then pay off that settlement.
I have no way to pay this amount she's asked for. Also, I can't get in touch with him anymore. Did he throw me away? I am pregnant with his child right now and need him to stay by me.
I'm sure that since he's having to pay a hefty settlement and child support bill by himself, he will no longer have the money to pay for some bitch and her bastard child.
What? What are you saying, Christy?
That baby that you're carrying isn't even his baby, right? He never had any plans of having a serious relationship with you. So when you said that you were carrying his kid, I knew something was off. I mean, he was only going on that trip with you to the Caribbean for fun, not for anything more than that. But when he realized that you were pregnant with someone else's baby, he knew things were going to get crazy, and that's why he ran. He might be hoping that his wife will take him back at some point, and I don't blame him. From what my husband has told me, he's doing everything in his power to apologize to his wife right now.
How come you, of all people, know about the fact that this baby inside me isn't his baby?
Mom and Dad had to talk about it.
Mom and Dad did?
Right now, Mom and Dad are on the brink of getting a divorce. It seems that when Dad learned about how Mom had been giving you all that money, and it was not going towards school, and when he learned about how she was trying to get you to steal my fiancé, he snapped. But of course, getting divorced at a time like this is a real dagger to the heart for Mom, right? She's only ever been a housewife and has no money of her own. So after she realized that Dad was going to have his way with her in the divorce, she started to tell him everything about you.
What the hell? She told me that she was on my side. She told me that she would do everything for me.
From what Mom had told Dad, a while back you ended up getting pregnant with some guy you couldn't remember, and so you went to Mom asking for help. And the help that Mom offered you was that of coming and stealing my fiancé, because she knew that you'd never be able to raise that kid on your own when you have it, right?
You know all about the plan now. It could have worked out for me too had you just given me your damn man like was planned.
That's not going to make me feel bad for you any. I like to think of all this was coming for you. Now, in order to not cause that baby to live a life of sadness, I suggest you change your heart right now and take full responsibility for everything you've done.
I will change my heart as long as you help me.
I told you, right? This all happened because of you, so take responsibility for it. I have no reason to be taking responsibility for something I had no part in.
I am being told by Dad now to give him all that money back since I dropped out of school. My whole life is going to end because of this. I was just thinking that I'd be getting married to a good-looking man with an excellent job and everything too.
I knew that a lot had happened, and that's why I wasn't going to block you just yet. But there's really no reason for me to continue talking with you. I'll just have Dad come to my wedding on the day of. I'm blocking you now, alright?
No, you're not. Who else am I supposed to go to for help if you block me?
How about your longtime ally Mom?
I can't rely on her anymore.
She's been the one spoiling you this whole time though, right? I mean, I'm going to block you now, so you're going to have to rely on her. Now, I'll leave you with this one last thing before I go.
One last thing. Are you really going to block me? Hey, Christy?
That baby inside you only has you, so please start acting like an adult and don't do anything else that will bring great shame and suffering to its life. If you want things to change for the better, this is your only chance to make that happen. And right then and there, I blocked Kimmy's number and then deleted her contact info from my phone. After that, Kimmy was asked to pay off that settlement, as well as give back all the money she had used for my dad through our mom, and had to begin working full-time. As for my mom, she is now having to live in a separate house from my dad, as they move towards a divorce that cannot be avoided now. Since my mom is on her own now, she has chosen to go and live with Kimmy at her place, where they both work most of the day and will never see one another until nighttime. Those two never really had any experience working full-time before this, and so each and every day they are complaining that they have to work too hard and that they need a break. I'm sure that over time they will become used to living a life most adults have to live, or else they will end up bums on the side of the road.